Many of you have had to end toxic relationships, not because of just one narcissistic person, but because of what seemed to be an entire group of narcissism, collective narcissism. This could have been your entire dysfunctional family, by the way. It could be a toxic work environment. It could be a group of friends. It could be your neighborhood. It could be the society that you live in. We'll talk more on this in just a moment. What's hard about collective narcissism is not only are you dealing with the narcissistic abuse, but it seems like everybody's in on it and you're the only one that sees the problem with it. Which means you're the one with the problem. Maybe you're the problem, right? Wrong. You're not the problem. Collective narcissism has been plaguing humanity since the beginning of time, destroying whole societies. Listen, if you're the one that's being called out of a toxic situation because of collective narcissism, pay attention to that. Because it may be the difference between life or death for you, and it may mean not only your freedom, but the freedom of generations to come from you. Let's talk about collective narcissism. My name is Kevin, and this is The Royal We. Now, before I continue, I want to let you know that I'm here for your support. Down in the description box, you'll find access for one-on-one appointments with me. In addition to that, I have a brand new life coaching program where I teach every day, Monday through Friday, with questions and answers. It's all for only $49 for an entire month. You cannot afford to miss out on this, especially those of you who are trying to start a brand new life. Now, we're talking about collective narcissism. What is collective narcissism? Well, to summarize it, it's when the collective, if you will, which again can be a family, happens all the time. It could be a group of friends, it could be a job, a workplace, it could be a whole society. But when the collective comes together and decides that what the collective thinks is more important than the individual, that there are no more individual rights. As a matter of fact, it gets into the abusive territory when it starts to determine that the individual is selfish and as a result deserves to be punished. This, by the way, has been plaguing humanity since the beginning of time. This is the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. As the ancient biblical story goes, Lot and his wife and his family lived in Sodom. The Lord, which was so neck deep in their collective narcissism, that the Lord sent angels to get Lot out. And when the angels went, all the people of that society were banging on Lot's door, saying, Lot, oh Lot, we know you're in there, and we know there's some new people in there, bring them out. They've got to be a part of our orgy rituals. Come on, Lot, don't be selfish. Don't be selfish, Lot. There's no individual rights here. Your voice doesn't matter. Come on, you know how it works. If you live here, this is what we do. Right? And we know what happened to Sodom. This place got destroyed. Collective narcissism never ends well. It destroys itself. A lot of you might be saying, Kevin, what is an ancient biblical story of Sodom and Gomorrah, which was a society that was into orgy rituals? What's that have to do with you or me? Well, it has everything to do with us and what we experience. Because it's so easy to find ourselves facing a society that has this collective mindset where the individual voice is squashed. It becomes narcissistically abusive when the individual voice is not only squashed, but punished and oppressed. Listen, I don't know what world you've been living in, but as for me, I've seen this society come out of a pandemic recently where a lot of people were forced to leave their jobs. People were denied eating in certain places, tried to stop people from traveling, all because of the collective mindset and the punishing of the individual. No, don't be selfish. There's no individual rights here. You can't do your own thing. That's selfish. You deserve to be punished. Collective narcissism. This happens a lot easier and a lot quicker than you even realize. And it can get really weird. I remember one time, actually in my youth, I was in my 20s, I was running around with a group of people I shouldn't have been running around with in college, some frat guys. And they were into partying. For whatever reason, they really liked me. Come on, Kevin, we're taking you out partying with us. I have no idea how I got wrapped up with those people, but I did. And after a long enough period of time, I'm like, I'm done. It's getting dangerous. I don't like what's going on. I don't like what I'm becoming. Sometimes I'm waking up and I can't remember what day it is. I'm done, right? And I told these guys in so many words, listen, I'm not going out anymore. One of these guys was not having it. He was yelling at me over the phone saying, you little bitch, we're going out and we're coming to pick you up. I felt threatened. As a matter of fact, one Friday night, they did come to my apartment. I knew they were coming over and I ran outside and I hid in the bushes and I watched these guys were banging on my door. Kevin, we know you're in there. You're being selfish, man. We came all the way to pick you up. We're going out. Get your bitch little butt out here. We're going. I was trembling in the bushes like, I hope to God they don't find me, right? Sodom and Gomorrah. I'm just now putting the 2 and 2 together. That's Sodom, right? Lot, bring those people out. Come on. It's what's best for all of us. It's not just about you. This is how easily we can fall into the collective mindset, which oppresses, narcissistically abuses the individual. Now you can see how this can happen not only in your own family, right? It could happen within your group of friends. It could happen in your neighborhood. It can happen in your society. And it gets very dangerous. And this is why you need to pay attention to when you feel this oppression and you need to exit as soon as you possibly can. You need to find your way out and be able to sustain yourself even if you have to go alone. Because the first step is to refer to you as being selfish. How selfish of you? There's no individual rights here. Don't be selfish. That's step one, which can be hurtful because you don't see yourself as a selfish person. I didn't see myself as being selfish because I didn't want to go out partying with people, nor did I find myself being selfish because I didn't want to partake in something that society or certain people said I should do over the past 3 or 4, whatever years. It's nobody's business what I do personally, right? So I don't feel selfish one way or the other, whether or not I do these things because they're personal choices, okay? But it's very hurtful when they start to accuse you being selfish, but that's step one. The real danger comes when then they start to assume your reasons. And narcissists do that when they get into their hive-mindedness. This gets into perhaps the tribalism of humanity. Their hive mind comes together and says, aha, well, this person must think they're better than everybody else. Maybe they need to be humbled down. Now you're in very dangerous territory with narcissistic people who, again, their goal is to squash the individual. Now they say this person needs to be humbled. Well, what does that mean? Well, maybe it means you need to get a beat down. Maybe it means you need to have somebody in your face with their finger in your face. Whatever the narcissist feels will work to humble you down. The thing is about collective narcissism is how dare you be an individual and be different? How dare you have your own voice? It's not about you, it's about the collective. This is what makes it so dangerous. So what starts out is calling you selfish. If you're not careful and you don't respond well to that, can end up being you need to be humbled down. God only knows where that's gonna go, right? If I was found in my story where I was running from my old, that crew in my college days, they would have gotten to me. They would have found me in the bushes. It would have went from selfish to, Kevin, you just need to be humbled down. We got to humble you and then take you out partying with us, whatever that means, right? Interesting food for thought here, but this is just to show you what collective narcissism is all about. Not only that, but how it has in fact destroyed civilizations, Sodom and Gomorrah. And you may be the only one that's called out before the destruction occurs. And that's the story of Lot. And we know that Lot was the only one who was not a part of that hive mind, right? And according to the ancient biblical text, Abraham was having a conversation with God saying, hey, you don't need to destroy all of Sodom, do you? Surely not everybody is a part of the collective narcissism. God's answer in the ancient story was, okay, if there are 5 people who are not a part of that narcissistic hive mind, I'll spare the whole town. There wasn't even 5. It was 1, Lot. Only Lot was there telling the whole town, hey, don't do this, stop it, knock it off, while they're banging on the door. Come on, Lot, you sissy. You sissy. You can't be an individual here. You know the rules. Don't be selfish. Lot, you need to be humbled down. Here's what's going to happen, Lot. We're going to break down your door. We're going to give you a proper beat down, humble you, and then we're going to have our way with your guests, because you know that's what we do here in this society. Don't be selfish. If you're a part of the society, you got to go by our rules. It's not about you, Lot. It's about the greater good. Welcome to the world of collective narcissism that's plagued humanity. What do you do about it? Face being alone. Be okay with walking away, even if it's your entire family that's dysfunctional. Find a new job if you got to. Leave those friends behind, even if you have to tremble in the bushes by yourself for a while. Take good old Kevin's advice. It's okay to tremble in the bushes. Just get out of the situation. Don't stay there. Don't let it escalate from being you're selfish to you need to be humbled down, right? Listen, I'm here for your support. Down in the description box, you'll find access for one-on-one appointments with me. In addition to that, I have the brand new Royal We coaching program where I teach every day, Monday through Friday, live with questions and answers. And before I go, I want to invite you to watch this video right here. YouTube recommends this video for you, and I'm going to say, yeah, give it a shot, watch it. If YouTube recommends it, then okay. All right, watch this. I'll be back with more videos for you right here on the Royal We.